We just wrapped up the first quarter of 2026 here in Trilogy Glen Ivy, and I have to say, there's actually some very encouraging news. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what happened with home sales during the first quarter and what it might mean if you're thinking about buying or selling a home in Trilogy Glen Ivy. Hi, my name is Casey, and I specialize in helping buyers and sellers here in the 55 and older communities in Southern California. And that includes Trilogy Glen Ivy and the community of Terramore here in Corona. And every quarter I review the sales numbers so you can see exactly how the real estate market's doing. So let's jump in and take a look. And let's start with the most important number, and that's the average sales price. In the first quarter of 2026, the average sales price of a home here in Trilogy was $650,000. Now when you compare this to the first quarter of last year, the average sales price was $652,000. So home prices are holding very steady. So if you're hearing that home values are dropping, the numbers here in Trilogy just don't support that. Home values here have remained very stable, and that's great news for homeowners here. Next, let's talk about how many homes were sold. And this is where the numbers get really encouraging. Now in the first quarter of 2026, we had 22 homes sold in the community of Trilogy. And if you compare that to the same period last year, there were only 14 homes that were sold. So that's a 50% increase in sales activity over last year. And that's a significant jump. And for a community like Trilogy, that kind of momentum is encouraging, especially as we head into the spring selling season. Next, let's look at how many days it takes to sell a home here in Trilogy. And during the first quarter of this year, the average was 78 days. Now in the first quarter of last year, it was 86 days. So we actually saw a slight improvement. But 78 days can feel like a very long time if you're trying to sell your home. So this tells us something very important. Buyers are still looking for homes in Trilogy, but they're doing their homework too. So if you're a seller, the condition of your home and pricing really matter. Homes in good condition and are priced correctly are the ones that are getting attention right now. Now before we move on, I want to take a quick second. Now if you've been watching my videos and you're trying to figure out whether Trilogy might be the right community for you, I'd love to have a conversation to see if I could help. And if you already live in Trilogy and you're curious what your home might be worth in today's market, I'd be happy to put together a free market analysis of your home. And you'll never get pressure or a sales pitch from me. I'll just share my honest opinion of what your home is worth in today's market. Okay, let's get back to the numbers. And next, let's take a look at the number of homes currently for sale in Trilogy. As we close out the first quarter of 2026, we have 15 homes currently for sale in Trilogy. And that's down considerably from a year ago when there were 22 homes for sale. So for sellers, that means you have less competition. And if your home is priced correctly and it shows well, you're not competing with as many homes as you did a year ago. And finally, let's talk about the highest priced home sold during the first quarter. And this one is another great example of how much buyers are willing to pay when the right home comes on the market. And this home was located at 9116 Pinion Point Court. And this was the Palomar model, which is one of the larger and more popular floor plans here in Trilogy. The home had 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, and 2,330 square feet of living space. And people really love the open great room of this model. And this particular home was nicely upgraded, but what really set it apart from other homes on the market was the panoramic views from the backyard. And this is definitely something buyers are willing to pay a premium for when they buy homes here in Trilogy. And this beautiful home sold for $839,000. So what do all these numbers mean as we move into 2026? Well, despite everything that's going on in the world right now, the housing market Trilogy remains very solid. Prices are stable, more homes are selling than a year ago, inventory has tightened up slightly, and the community continues to attract buyers who are looking for the lifestyle and the amenity that Trilogy has to offer. And if you're a homeowner thinking about selling your home, now might actually be a good time. We're seeing less competition, very steady home values, and an increase in buyer activity. So these are all working in your favor. But as I always tell homeowners, pricing your home correctly is still the most important thing you can do. And I say this because buyers today are more informed, and if they feel that your home was overpriced, they're simply going to move on to the next one. And if you're a buyer here in Trilogy, the reduced inventory means that you have to be ready to act if you find the right home. Especially if you're looking for something specific, like a certain floor plan, a golf course lot, or a home with a view. These types of homes definitely sell much faster, so it's important not to wait too long if you find the right one. Now before we go, I want to ask for a quick favor. Now if you happen to know someone who lives here in Trilogy and you think they might find this information helpful, I'd really appreciate if you consider sharing this video with them. And whether they're thinking about making a move or not, this information could be helpful for them, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Now thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.